What's up guys, Harvick99 here, back with another video, and welcome to Rating Every 2024 Patriotic Scheme Part 2, the Cup Series. Before I start this video, I just want to wish you all a Happy New Year. This is the first video that I'm recording in 2025. I uploaded a few videos before this one, but those were all filmed about 2 months ago, so I don't count those as 2025 videos. This is the first official video recorded and uploaded in 2025. So yeah, Happy New Year. I've already said that. I'm dragging this intro out way too long. Without further ado, let's get into it. To start off, we have Ross Chastain's Patriotic, a step up over last year's. Last year's was very underwhelming, and this year's is a big improvement. I like the paint scheme design they've got going on with the blue, gray, red, and darker blue, and with the added stars, just make for a great looking Patriotic. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Austin Cindric's Patriotic. He ran this at the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro, and not the Coke 600 for some reason. Don't know whose decision that was, but it was a bizarre one to say the least. The paint schemes look nothing alike, but this reminds me of the old Miller Lite Patriotics that Brad Keselowski used to drive. With Miller Lite and Molson Coors as a whole now out of the sport, Keystone Light has come in and taken their place, and their Patriotic looks just as good as the ones that Miller Lite ran in years past. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Austin Dillon's Patriotic. Simple red, white, and blue, nothing too complicated, nothing too complex. Just simple, which has been common for the 3 team and their Patriotics. Nothing wrong with that, though. Looks pretty good. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Austin Dillon's Patriotic that he ran at the final race of the season at Phoenix. This is all camo and features the names of several military service members, which shout out to them for defending our country. And this paint scheme is a great way to honor them. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Josh Berry's Patriotic. Stewart-Haas Racing just took their overstock primary scheme and tweaked it a little bit by adding some blue and stars, which is a lazy choice for paint scheme design, but they made it look good. Can't complain too much. Still a good looking Patriotic overall. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Josh Berry's Procter & Gamble paint scheme that he ran at New Hampshire, I believe. This is also a military tribute paint scheme, and doesn't look quite as good as the overstock scheme, I'll tell you that much. This one's not clicking with me. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Brad Keselowski's Patriotic. Mostly red with a vague stripes pattern. Red and white stripe pattern on the side of the car. I didn't notice that at first because the overabundance of red was what caught my eye, and didn't notice the stripe pattern until recording this video. But yeah, on track this looks a lot better because the shades of red are more clearly visible than on the simple render. And yeah, nothing much else to say except it's a pretty cool looking Patriotic. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Kyle Busch's Cheddar's Patriotic. I'll point this out again because I pointed this out last time I rated this paint scheme. I love how they've got the croissants and the stars together there on the hood, but the stripe pattern is disconnected at the number. I still don't like how they changed the paint scheme from 2022 to 2023. I don't know what the thought process was, don't know why they felt the need to break up the stripe pattern. The original paint scheme was so much better, and as it is now, just doesn't do it for me. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Chase Elliott's Patriotic. Simple black camo. But on track, you wouldn't really be able to notice. It just looks like a plain black car, which looks really cool. I like the black and white, but the black camo just, yeah, it doesn't look good. I don't like this one that much. 3 out of 10. Next up, we have Noah Gregson's Patriotic. I like the little wavy pattern that they've got going on there with the red and white stripes, like a flag waving in the wind. That's really cool. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Chase Briscoe's Patriotic that he ran at the Chicago Street Course, I believe. I get more Texas vibes from this paint scheme, because the singular star they got in the middle with the number. There's more stars on the hood there, but what I notice right away is the big blue star. When I see this Patriotic, I think about Texas more than I think about America. But that's not a slight on this paint scheme, just my personal opinion. Still good looking nonetheless. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Kaz Grala's Patriotic. This one is just a plain white car with an American flag design on the bottom. Lazy paint scheme design. 3 out of 10. Next up, we have Chris Buescher's Patriotic. For this one, they took the regular Fastenal primary scheme and changed the blue to camo, and then those transitional stripes from the camo to the black are now red and blue, which is a neat detail, but I feel like they should have gone all the way and made the whole thing camo. It would have looked a lot better than what they went with, because that camo pattern looks really cool. And if it was extended to the whole paint scheme, it'd make the Patriotic a whole lot better. But as is, with just the camo in the middle, bookended by the black, yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Chris Buescher's Patriotic that he ran at the Chicago Street Course. Blue and white, gray stars, not a single semblance of red on this Patriotic, which you can't have a Patriotic with one of the colors of the American flag missing. You just can't do that. Blue and white is fine, but you need red, otherwise it's not patriotic. You get what I'm saying? Neat design, but it's missing red. You can't call this a patriotic if it's missing one of the colors of the American flag. I'm sorry. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Martin Truex Jr.'s Patriotic. A far cry from the patriotics he's run in years past. But, sometimes change is good. And this is one of those instances. I really like this patriotic. Looks pretty cool. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Martin Truex Jr.'s updated patriotic that he ran at Bristol in the night race. They took his Patriotic and made a few tweaks to it, and it looks a lot better. I like this one better than the one that he ran at the Coke 600. Looks really cool. 8 out of 10. Next up, we have Christopher Bell's Patriotic. For this one, they just took his regular Ream primary scheme and changed the black to navy and added stars. Which, lazy paint scheme design, but it works. It looks good. I like it. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Harrison Burton's Patriotic. For this one, they had a good base for it already, as the Dex Imaging paint scheme, the normal Dex Imaging primary scheme is red and white. All they needed was just add some blue on it, and voila, you have a Patriotic. I like the little red, white, and blue shooting stars they got on the side of the paint scheme there. Those look really cool. And I like the red and blue number there on the side. They do something different from the traditional, I think, gold and black that they usually run for the Wood Brothers 21. Not much else to say other than pretty neat looking Patriotic. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have William Byron's Patriotic. I gave them the benefit of the doubt last year when rating this paint scheme, but now, yeah, I don't like it that much. I like the American flag version of this Patriotic way better. It's a better looking Patriotic, and yeah, I just wish they'd bring that back, because this one just, yeah, I don't like it that much. 4 out of 10. Next up, we have Michael McDowell's Patriotic. The yellow is sort of throwing me off here. I get that yellow is one of Walmart's colors, but they could have done away with it for this Patriotic. What they could have done was take the regular paint scheme that they run and just change the stripes to red and white and leave the blue. That, in my opinion, would have looked better. Instead, they've got this stripe pattern at the back, while the rest is blue. And they've got yellow shooting stars and some red and dark blue stripes at the front. And then a starry backdrop there in the middle. If you see those dark blue stars. Yeah, I'm not liking this paint scheme that much. 4 out of 10. Next up, we have Todd Gilliland's Patriotic. This suffers from the same problem as Michael McDowell's Patriotic. It's just got the stripe pattern there on the quarter panel. Rest of the car is blue with white on top. And it's got the same shooting stars, but thankfully no yellow this time. It's a step up from McDowell's Patriotic, but still not that good. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Ryan Preece's Patriotic. A step down from last year's Patriotic, but it still looks good. I like it. 8 out of 10. Next up, we have Eric Jones's Patriotic. Again, another Patriotic that uses the primary scheme as the base. Lazy design choice for this Patriotic, just using the primary scheme as the base, but I mean, the design is good, but they could have extended it to the rest of the paint scheme. Just doing it at the front, just, like I said, just lazy. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Alex Bowman's Patriotic. Again, it's a case of a team using their regular primary scheme as a base, but this one actually ends up looking pretty good. Red and blue with a red and white stripe pattern on the roof railing, and then, as Ally always does, they stylize their logo to look like the American flag, and they add the dog tags on there. Great looking Patriotic. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Ty Dillon's Patriotic. White at the front, blue roof, and then an American flag pattern, like a painted American flag pattern going down the side. Simple, and I like it. It looks pretty good. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Ty Gibbs' Patriotic. They didn't even try with this one. This suffers from the same problem as Chase Elliott's Patriotic. It's a black camo pattern, but you wouldn't be able to really realize that when you look at it on track. You just see it as a plain black car. And what's real bizarre about this Patriotic is that the camo pattern is only on the side of the car and goes from the middle to the back. It's not on the whole paint scheme. Did they give up midway through, thought it looked good, and rolled it out onto the track? What were they thinking here? Just, why? 0 out of 10. Next up, we have Zane Smith's Patriotic. This one is a half and half Patriotic. In the darker gray, you got a camo pattern, and then in the lighter gray, you got some gray stars, and I believe it's stylized to look like a military vehicle with all the panels and stuff. That always looks cool. And like I said in the previous part, I like when they combine patriotic elements to make something new. And this is definitely the case here, combining camo with the military vehicle aesthetic, and then adding a few stars there to top it off. Good looking Patriotic. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Carson Hocevar's Patriotic. This reminds me a lot of Josh Bilicki's Patriotic that he ran in 2022. That one suffered from the overabundance of yellow, which killed the look of the Patriotic for me. For 2024, Ziegler ran another Patriotic, but scaled down on the yellow. Now it's only on the hood, and the rest is red, white, and blue, and stylized to look like the American flag, with all the stars and the stripes. It looks better than the 2022 Patriotic. A lot better, in fact. But the yellow still throws me off. They should have done away with it entirely and made it blue. That way it would look way better. But as is, with the yellow, it's not as egregious as the 2022 paint scheme, but I still gotta knock off a few points. 6 out of 10. And for our final Patriotic, we have Daniel Suarez's Patriotic. It's the same one as Ross Chastain's, but down the side, instead of white, it's navy. And that added navy makes this Patriotic look a lot better, in my opinion. It's better than Chastain's. Now the only traces of white are on top and on the back bumper. The rest is either the stripe pattern or the navy color. And yeah, it makes for a better looking Patriotic than Ross Chastain's. 7 out of 10. And with that, every Patriotic scheme ran in the 2024 season has been given its proper rating. What do you think? Do you think some of these should have been rated higher? Do you think some should have been rated lower? How would you rate these Patriotics? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of me, be sure to follow all my socials, like my Twitter, my Instagram, my Threads, and join my Discord server. Links to all those are in the description down below. Leave a like on the video, and subscribe to my channel for more NASCAR content. Thank you all so much for watching. That's it for me.